All right.
Probably just a
I
throw-in.
actually had like a cold opener myself in mind.
You always have dumb cold opens in mind.
Make way for Prince
That's not a
Ali.
good. That's terrible. Why? Why would you do
Say
that?
it's
Why would
Prince
you do that? Why
Ali.
would you do that? Anyway,
Why? Why not?
I don't like it.
Don't
Look
you
at this
like
stupid
Aladdin?
fucking. Hey, look at this stupid thumbnail.
Why? We're doing a Magi video right now. Why do I have to look at the
I just think
stupid
it's a
thumbnail?
funny thumbnail.
Okay, fine. Okay, whatever.
It's funny and you know it.
Seems like they just like saw like the PNG from film Gold and thought like, how can I use this?
Ah, whoa, we're finally talking about Magi
Yeah.
after months of promising it. Proof that we keep our word.
Yep. Oh boy, dude, I love Magi so much. It's so good.
It's good.
Yeah, it's great. Oh man, it's a if you like One Piece, I think you'll probably really like Magi for because it's fun, cool battle shonen, lots of cool adventure. Uh, there's great comedy in it throughout, and it does like long running mysteries very well. So if you like that in One Piece, you can actually like get that in Magi and finish it and learn the answers to the mysteries and not have to wait 20 years for them, which is
We're gonna
nice.
spoil the fuck out of Magi, so go read it because
Absolutely,
it's
we are.
good.
Yeah.
It's good, so go read it. That's
Yeah, it's
simple.
yeah, it's good. So go read it. So, what are your general thoughts on Magi Shiki?
I hold on. Let me put what I wrote in manga page because I like that explanation. Uh, I'm worried this is gonna be like the JJK video, where my positivity is focused mainly on the early middle arcs, whereas the final arc is it's good thematically, but I have a lot of notes.
Yeah, yeah. I'd
No,
say
because no,
like
I really like my favorite arcs are probably whatever the Civil War with Hakuryu is. That's probably my favorite arc.
Kou Empire arc.
Is that what it's called? I don't know the fucking
Yeah,
names.
I'm pretty sure that's what
And
it's
then
called.
I have a few notes for Magno, but otherwise I really like it. And I really liked the first Balbadd arc. I thought it was really good.
I know. I'm a fan of. I think like my favorite chunk of the story is like the like the first 2/3 of the final. Like everything up until like the last like 2 or 3 volumes, like
Until the
specifically.
palace.
Yeah, until the palace. Like, and I don't hate the palace, but like we'll get to it when we get to it. Okay.
We got notes on the palace.
Yeah. So I guess the best place to start is with Amon. I think that's technically
Actually, the real start is I told you about it. It's awesome lesbian couple and
Austrian
a little
lesbian couple.
Aladdin on the
Yeah,
side.
I could
That's where
see.
we actually start.
I could see why the anime like skipped this because it's like like
No, it is just like it feels like a one shot.
yeah, it feels like a one shot and not like the because like again the only relevant character here is Aladdin and like it's not even like even what the manga is really
No, like
about
these
when you
two
get
come
down to it.
back, but not for anything noteworthy.
No,
I mean, I
it's
I
very
do
fun
really
and
like
nice
the
though.
early. I like the early visual gag that the anime doesn't really get across of the way Yugo rides. No, the way Aladdin rides Yugo makes it look like he's a buff man.
Yeah, yeah, they do that a
I
lot.
don't think
It's
the
cool.
anime ever got that joke across quite well,
No, I don't think it's been a long time since I watched the anime, but I think you're right.
which is a shame because I think it's very funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, but as for Amon, I really like it. It does a lot of really good foreshadowing too for Alibaba and what he's planning.
Yeah, I mean they do kind of just like spell it out like near the end where like he sword fights the rich kid and they
I
literally
mean,
say
even
like
like I mean, but like I feel like that's like the payoff to the buildup.
yeah, I guess that's true. Yeah.
There, it's this.
I love how like you like it's not like stick figures but just like little bubble people that
No,
she draws for
I love
comedy.
her comedy art. I think it's less detailed than like most other comedy art, which I think really adds to it. Like these are barely drawn creatures. They are barely here.
They're just like little bubble people.
Yeah, it's very
I think
very
I think
fucking
my
funny.
favorite example in like the like first arc is like actually when they go to the girly bar for the first time. Hold on, let me like look for it.
Oh, I know what you're looking for.
Yeah, it's the one where like it's like Alibaba and like you just see like him with the giant lady getting smaller and smaller as Aladdin's having the time of his
Yeah.
life.
Oh no, actually, one thing I thought was very funny about early Magi is how when it had a more episodic tone, they gave Yugo like a very cute, funny weakness of, oh, when he touches a girl, he gets so blushy he literally can't function. But then as the series gets more serious, we need a much more real nerf to Aladdin's unkillable super god, which is to temporarily kill him, which is a much better nerf.
Yeah.
Like I like how it's like, oh no, he touched a girl. It's like, all right, plot's serious now. We need to actually get rid of him.
Yeah, it's also like great because like one of the core themes of Magi is like independence, and Ugo's basically Aladdin's like dad for like
Yeah.
the first few years of his life. So the fact that like he has to like lose him, like parenthood is like a very huge theme in the story.
Mhm.
Like I think it's like almost like morphs into like motherhood specifically the longer it goes on. But like
I mean,
yeah,
hey man, you still got Aladdin calling Sinbad his dad.
yeah.
Not Aladdin, Alibaba. Let's see how many times I fuck that up this video. It's gonna be a lot. um, one thing I liked of like the early recontextualization of Alibaba is early on when he says like, I hate that there's a gap between the rich and poor. It just feels like a shrewd businessman being pissed that he's on the lower half.
Yeah,
Because early on, Alibaba does just seem like a fucking piece of shit.
I know he does.
Uh, whereas like the recontextualization is like, oh, he's actually been thinking about this for a long time.
Yeah.
One thing I liked about Morgiana early on that is like something I don't see super often in like manga and anime that depicts slavery is like her shame of it.
Yeah, like she tries to hide her shackles
Like
underneath her
she's
skirt.
embarrassed about it.
Yeah.
And I like how that goes on and like affects her power system or fighting style later on. I just thought that was like a really good like, oh yeah, that's a real thing that happens.
Yeah. I also love like, Aladdin like, total fish out of water. So the first time he sees a slave ever, his first instinct is to just break the chain and be like,
Is
"There,
to
it's everything good
automatically
now."
free them. I
There,
love it.
now everyone can see your pretty feet, Morgiana.
Mhm. The other thing I really like about like Morgiana's like the her shame thing is that her shame is I think in the long run actually treated as like a like a sign of like her holding on because Goldius the other slave he's the one who would literally do anything. The I don't remember his fucking name.
I don't
Evil
either.
McGee said
Evil
anything.
McGee.
Evil McGee said, and
Evil rich
because
boy
that
McGee.
he said he lost his pride, so he doesn't want to go back to his people. And I think any like resistance to being a slave that Morgiana put up was proof of her holding on to that pride. Speaking of which, slight going ahead, I like that it's revealed that his pride thing was a load of shit because we meet his people and they would have happily accepted him
Oh yeah, no,
back.
they would have, yeah.
Yeah, it was just another way of showing that his brain was broken even more than he thought. What else did you like about the Amon arc stuff?
Hmm.
Like, I think a lot of it's kind of self-explanatory. Like, it's showing Alibaba's good points and his bad points.
Yeah.
Like he's a nice, pretty selfless guy. Like, whenever he looks like he's doing something shitty, it's a trick and he's actually shooting for a nicer end.
Yeah. I guess like
I also
a
like.
one
Oh,
thing
what?
that like I'm actually wondering because like this is something that like I feel like it may like this is just like a theory I have of like Ugo like manipulating shit in the background sometimes without anyone noticing because like
Mhm.
I remember like it's like chapter like as soon as they enter the dungeon they say the like the reason they didn't immediately die was because there was a time lag and Aladdin entered like 10 minutes earlier and was able to quell his
Mhm.
excitement before Alibaba showed up. So I'm wondering is like
Yeah.
did Ugo do that on purpose while they were going through just to subtly manipulate them?
But like you
Because like
don't
there
need
are
that
other there
because
are other examples of like times where I'm suspicious of it, so I'm just wondering. It's like,
like we don't need it because it could also just be the general like luck is just a thing.
yeah, it could be that. Yeah,
Like the series makes a point that like beyond like the grand fate, just like little instances of luck make or break a lot of characters' decisions and victories.
Yeah. A lot of people are just victim of circumstance or benefit from it. Yeah.
All right, are we going to uh before Balbadd? I guess we have the road trip to Balbadd.
Yeah, we have Road Trip to Balbadd, which is just like Aladdin getting the Kuga tribe and the
We
Kou
meet,
Empire to stop fighting. But this is
yeah.
like my favorite. I'm gonna find my favorite page of this entire thing. You talk if you
I,
want
I
to.
really like that. I really liked him getting the I liked how the arc basically set up like Aladdin's like kind of like sage worldview of how he views family
Yeah.
and how like he is taught to view like as much of the world as family as possible.
Yeah,
And
especially
I,
because
I
like
and
later on the story, people are gonna be like, "Why the fuck do you care? You're from a different world. Fuck off." And then it's like, "Oh, well, but why would he? Found family's
yeah,
cool."
I wish we brought up Baba more. She was nice. Um,
Yeah, I
I
personally
like
I
that.
wish he kept Baba's staff. I think like it suits him more than the
Like it
one he
makes sense
got
why it
later.
broke, but still.
Yeah,
Um, I like that. I like that our first introduction to the Empire is like the nicest, most noble actor in said
oh, without
empire.
a doubt, like without a doubt.
Like that's a fun way to ease us into, because the whole thing is like Magi pretty clearly shows that at this point in time in this world, there's every faction is like pretty flawed, so like you can like people from any side.
Yeah, yeah, and you
So
know
like
like
it
the
eases us
next.
into the people taking over all of fucking fake China by just being like, look at her, isn't she nice?
Yeah, and it's like look at her. Like sure, like conquest is like their mo, but like she seems nice. And then you meet like her friends in Balbadd, and it's like, oh, these people are bad. They're
Yeah.
evil.
I also like
Okay, I found it.
no,
So this
I
is
joke oh, what is it?
this is my favorite page in the whole thing because it's just like, all right, this is Aladdin talking to God.
Hmm. I
We
think
didn't have to do anything.
one thing another thing I wrote this down every time it happened, but I started with the wind djinn. But every time there was an extremely attractive woman, I wrote like, "Damn, Moggy author, you gay or something? Why is this woman so hot?"
You know, like
I wrote that note like at least 6 times.
I know, like she's so good at drawing like pretty ladies. It's crazy.
Even though like you can tell she's also has an immense talent for drawing pretty men.
I know, especially underage men.
No, you don't say that. All right. And
Sorry,
then
underage Sinbad specifically.
she just likes drawing Sinbad. Period.
Oh yeah,
She
no,
just
like
likes drawing that
dude,
man.
when you first see Sinbad in the slave collar, it's like, oh, she's been waiting to draw this. I could tell. I can tell.
I don't think there's a single version of Sinbad she didn't have fun drawing. And then Morgiana does a slave revolt, which is fun.
Yeah, it's cool.
Look at her taking agency. Good for her.
Yeah.
Uh, there's certain aspects of Morgiana I'm gonna save for later in the video. I'm just holding them off.
Is it
Balbot.
all right, Balbadd is so good. Ah, it's
Uh-huh.
so good. Oh
The
my god, I like
one
it.
thing I'll get to is like the one thing I was worried about when I went back into Balbot, because I haven't seen it since I watched the anime, I think, is I was like, I really hope they don't both sides, because there is a fucking gap here. And like they teeter on it, but I think they make it clear that like there's a difference between the masses, because there's literally the scene, like I think this is probably the best way they endeared Sinbad to us too, where the masses come out and it's not a revolutionary scary military, it's starving families, and Sinbad literally says, yeah, go ahead and rob them, just don't kill anyone.
Yeah, yeah. Like I think like literally they're only teetering because you know, we just got there and
Cassim.
didn't know what was going on. So it's like, all right. Well, Aladdin is like easing into it. It's like from his perspective, everyone's nice and good and cool, right?
Yeah.
So like yeah, it's kind of what he feels until like he kind of understands what's going on.
Yeah, I wrote the only real moral equivalence is Cassim's coup is drawn in the same dark, violent way for both the kill the royals part and the use people as meat shields part. And like, to be fair, slaughter is bad, but
Yeah.
also, the fact that Cassim is planning on using the civilians as meat shields is a lot worse than the fact that Cassim wants to kill like 20 royals. I
Yeah.
I know like 3 of them are cool, but I don't care that much because the rest are insane.
They are. I guess it was just to show like Kasim's like bloodlust and like how like he was
Yeah,
always
it was.
yeah.
Yeah, I remember I just wrote, Ugo fucking killed Judar. Holy
He fucking
shit.
pounds him into the dirt. It's crazy.
No, she uses more smears on action lines and like movement than other manga could do, and it makes Ugo's hits like feel like even scarier and more violent.
Yeah, I think that's one of the advantages to having really baggy clothes on all the characters. You can just
Oh yeah,
fling them
that yeah, we talked
around.
about that too. It makes it so both like movement and hits are like, oh, the entire body is a fucking smear line.
Yeah.
It was a really good idea.
I also like love how they nerfed Sinbad because
Oh, just
like
took
like
away his vessel.
Sinbad's introduction is like so like literally it's like the only one that's like comparable to Black people. It's like most important villain ever. Complete fucking joke the first time you see him. Butt naked saying, "Yo, can I borrow some clothes?"
I
And then you find, and then he's like, "Don't, no, no, dude, I'm Sinbad. I'm at the top of the verse. I have 7 metal vessels. I'm like the Shanks of the verse, man. Trust me." And the thing is, I think if you're on like a first read through, you might like not believe him because of the way he was
That's
introduced.
funny. I think one Sinbad thing no, I'll be honest, until it was revealed he had a country, the first time I watched Magi, I thought he was like an adventurer overhyping himself. That was until it's like, oh no, the country is real, and I'm like, oh. Although I like that even when he's like quote unquote at his weakest, he has the unique, I want to say underutilized ability to grab a metal vessel's arm and turn it off.
Yeah, I think that's just Mogwai manipulation, which is just
No, it is, but
yeah.
I've never we don't see anyone else do that bullshit. It'd be funny if he just like when he's fighting another high like actual top tier, he just grabs their arm for a second and they're like, "Don't you fucking dare!"
I think it's because like literally like no one he never fights another metal vessel user head on for the rest of the
No,
manga
it'd be
until like
funny though.
the palace, but at that point it's like well why even bother?
Yeah. I like the way that they show how Alibaba is more forward thinking than Sinbad, because Sinbad thinks the one who saves the country must rule it regardless of desire because it's their destiny, whereas Alibaba is more like progressively thinking since he rejects the monarchy idea entirely, which I love bringing up because it's like Sinbad would win an election in Sindria every time,
Yeah,
uncontested.
absolutely.
And we later learn in the Sinbad comic why he thinks him being a king is so important. It almost feels like an act of like defiance.
Yeah.
He's
Oh,
like, I
oh,
can be one, even if you tell me
oh,
no.
also one thing I think we forgot to say, Magi is like the most politically charged battle shonen to ever exist.
Oh
Like
no, it's like game.
and
Like yeah, it's not as complex as like a Song of Ice and Fire, but it gives similar vibes at times.
yeah, like literally like end of the first major arc. So like this would be like to compare it to One Piece, that would be like the end of Arlong Park. It's like fuck monarchy, let's build a republic, and this is how we're gonna do it.
Oh yeah, and to clarify, the reason they overthrew the monarchy is because the monarchy was in debt to a bigger empire, and they were so in debt they were going to sell their entire populace into slavery.
Yeah. That's one cool thing about like the fall. I guess like I guess it's kind of expanded on later, but like you can
Mhm.
see it here is that like even though it's like oh we hate destiny, we want to reverse the flow. Everyone who ends up undergoing the fall ends up manipulating other people anyway to achieve
Yeah,
their goals, and that's very consistent for obvious reasons. I think it's cool
yeah.
because yeah.
Oh, I also really like. I think the power system is the most interesting when Alibaba is weaker, and he has to find like 500 workarounds to the fact that he's ass at using Amon.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
He has like 500 fucking workarounds. It's really funny.
Yeah. I
I
also
also my favorite, like, first of all, I just really liked Kasim's design in general.
oh yeah, I was about to
But
talk
I
about him.
talked about this with you. My favorite, just sad Kasim thing, is that when he finally like becomes White Rook and re-enters Destiny, the happiest life he can imagine is one where he stays in the slums but lives a happy slum life, and Alibaba becomes king. That is the happiest future he can imagine. That is sad as fuck.
Yeah. It's one cool thing about the manga is that like it makes it pretty clear that like education is super important, and like because like it's up to people to envision their own futures
Yeah.
and all that. Like the fact that you don't get that will limit your
Yeah,
possibilities.
like Sinbad literally loses a debate because someone says you need royal blood to lose, and he doesn't know a valid counterargument because he's not well educated enough on the
Yeah,
world.
I just
He
really
doesn't know
love.
that's a stupid point.
Yeah, I really like Kasim and Alibaba's relationship because like both of them are clearly like envious of the other one and think the other one's so
Yeah,
much cooler. Like he's like, Alibaba's like so genuinely nice. It's probably because he's a prince and he's cool. And like
yeah.
when he's in his like fallen thing and he's like arguing with Alibaba, we see his image of a king is just Alibaba, so he wants to be
Yeah.
him. But
And
Alibaba
then
is like, Kasim is so cool. He's like got all these grown ups respect. He knows the
he yeah, like
streets. He
yeah,
smokes and looks so cool. And I try
Kasim
and
is like
smoke and then I choke and then I die because I can't handle it.
yeah, like Alibaba views what's funny is you could argue Alibaba and Kasim's dynamic is the same as Aladdin and Jasmine in the Disney movie, which is very funny. uh, no, because it's like he think because yeah, like Kasim thinks Alibaba is above him because of all of his special royalty, whereas Alibaba thinks Kasim is above him because Kasim just has life experience Alibaba can't really emulate. And then one thing, because one thing I think is really telling, Puff, like if what Kasim wanted to happen happened and Alibaba worked with Kasim and they eventually did establish their republic, Kasim would win the election.
Probably, like he had like he was considered like the real leader of the Fog Troop, and was
Yeah,
probably helping out the
like
people
the lower
longer.
class people loved him. So in an alternate reality, Kasim was literally underhyping himself.
Well, I guess
He
like
probably
there
would have
wouldn't.
been a politician.
Well, I guess like it like to win the election is kind of a weird word because like I imagine they'd both get elected to be on the council, right?
No, exactly. Like they'd both be in it is the point. Like he's
Yeah,
undervaluing how important he would be.
yeah,
So yeah, that is Balbadd. It's really fucking good.
yeah. It was super great for an early arc. Oh, I
it's
loved it.
it's it's a very good early arc.
Yeah. I also
Then we go to
love how like for like the when Alibaba's trying to like raid the palace, because he's fucking shit and like can't do anything. He can't like scale walls or like jump high or anything. So Morgiana literally has to throw him over the walls, like and
No,
like
I
when they're fighting the Dark Jin, she literally has to grab him and start dancing around all of his attacks because she's the only one here with above average speed.
oh, no, I really like how early on Alibaba is so heavily carried by his two friends. Like he would have died so many goddamn times if Morjan and Aladdin weren't constantly supporting him.
Right, that's like also one of the reasons why like he wants a republic because I can't do this shit by myself.
Like his flaws are what let him or what lets him be able to see the strengths in others. He's kind of like Luffy that way.
Yeah.
Like his understanding of what he shit is shit at lets him better appreciate those around him.
Yeah.
Anyway, then we go to Sindria, and Sinbad gets accused of heinous crimes, and no one takes his side, and it's
It's
hilarious.
like I swear every like 100 chapters that she'll just write the funniest chapter ever. Like first it's
No,
this one,
I
and then it's
love
the
it.
one where Alibaba lies about having a girlfriend.
That one is so fucking funny. No,
I
I
know.
like this one a lot because like at this point, Sinbad is like Mary Sue McGee. So I feel like this was like a very important way to undercut him to show that like every single one of his retainers, while they will take his side in battle and politics, when it comes to like individual problems, like oh no, he's a scumbag, and any bad thing you assume he did, I also assume he did.
Yeah. I know, it's
It's a good way
so
to
funny.
undercut him.
Was the trust we built all those years just a lie? Shut up, you drunk.
It also kind of shows the whole like Sinbad's bickering group who don't trust him are more reliable than Kakobun. As much as I love Kakobun,
Yeah.
is not reliable because they don't bicker. But in that sense, their actual schemes are a lot more negative because they don't really talk with each other.
Yeah, and also,
Oh
I love how like I remember like you remember the D&D session where we were in the courtroom and I just kept spamming
yeah,
images from this chapter. The magic
yes, I
does
do.
not. It's so funny. She's so good at drawing funny faces.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah. I also love
And then
how like when we're introduced to the eight generals, like you clearly see that Sinbad is like an archetypical high fantasy hero, like a
yeah.
JRPG main character who has collected one guy from every country he's went to, and they're all a band of freaks and they look like they're a perfect ragtag
Or
group of.
I think more like that is having a magical elemental power from each place you've been to is like that's Zelda shit.
Yeah.
That's like every Zelda
Like I was
game.
thinking, like, damn, this guy's like a like a Final Fantasy main character. You know, he
That's
gets a friend
awesome.
from this country and a friend from this country and a mage from here and a dragon guy from there.
Yeah. I talked about how I liked that the trick with Hakuryu is that everyone is worried he's going to be a vicious pro-Ko freak. And then it's like, oh no, he's a nice boy. And then it's like, no, 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 he's still a vicious freak, just
I know.
anti-Ko.
I love how one of the ways they really get you with that is like, hold on, I actually like took a screenshot of this earlier today when I was editing. Hold on.
All right.
Like he pulls this face. Hold on, I'm almost there.
All right.
He pulls this fucking face, and it's like, this guy can never be a serious villain, right?
No, no, I love it. No, I love him just breaking down when everyone criticizes him. It's so funny.
I
I love
know.
him just throwing a tantrum and being like, "Fuck you, Alibaba. I never liked you."
I love how he literally is just like, Alibaba if he was, sadder.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, one of my favorite jokes is actually when they get out of Zephyr and they're fighting
You mean
and
Zagan?
it's the yeah Zagan and they're fighting the black metal vessel users. And one of them attacks Yamaraiha and says like, "I believe in gender equality. Sorry, woman." And then one of his lackeys says, "But you only do that to girls." And like that is such a better joke than all of the fucking isekai gender equality punch a woman in a face jokes because that one is so much more fucking on it. I liked that one a lot. That was an amazing joke.
Yeah. uh,
I also like because I think the end of it really showed off that like the reason you're suspicious of Sinbad is that while he like you got this a bit in Balbadd, but you get it more in this. Is that while he's very willing to help people, every time he helps someone, it benefits him.
yeah.
So it's like he's a nice person, but only when it helps his cause.
Yeah, and like my first video I'm doing this is basically just an Alibaba and Sinbad video, and like the second like big way they compare their characters is how they interact with Kogyoku, because
Yeah,
the same chapter that Sinbad puts Zephar's spell on her is immediately followed by the one where Alibaba becomes her friend.
yeah, and that's pretty telling.
Yeah.
I don't have anything else for that arc. I don't think. Oh no,
Uh,
I do have one thing I just wrote down. I don't know if I'm dumb or if it was a dubism, but I thought Sinbad's wind djinn was a light and dark rook balancing djinn the first time.
oh yeah, no, like I remember thinking that too when I saw the anime. I'm not sure that
Like
might
I
be
don't
a
know if it was a
dubism.
dubism or if I'm just stupid.
Yeah. Hmm.
I guess it
Yeah,
doesn't help that it has like a dark color scheme.
yeah, it's got like dark hair, whereas other ones have been like kind of bright up to this point.
Yeah, it confused me.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Oh, I wrote one funny thing, Puff, because the next arc is when they fight those Sea Kid pirates.
Yeah.
And they have like their fun guerrilla warfare in the in their little area. And I just wrote, if the Sea Kid fight was in JJK, you'd have so much text. In this location, at that range, only blazing bullets will work. But once they're in the tunnels, a physical fighter can attack from close range and defeat their weak defenses. Whereas in Magi, they just do that and they don't explain it to you because you're not a fucking
Right? And
idiot.
Morgiana just runs into the fucking tunnel, starts pummeling through them because
And you
that's
get
their
it. It's like,
weakness.
oh, yeah, they're ranged fighters. They can't handle her.
Yeah. Oh, I do love how she's literally the strongest member of their party up until
It,
like
it, it up
Magnostaht.
until like I guess it's like a little after this that Hakuryu reveals he's getting good at Zagan a lot faster than Alibaba's getting good at Amon.
Yeah.
um, oh, I like that. I like that Aladdin, who didn't have a mom but did have a positive parent figure, does better against the curse than Morgiana, who never had a maternal figure.
Yeah.
I thought that was where it's like Morgiana has a craving, whereas Aladdin got like a valid like, oh, I am a hyper spiritual freak counter.
Yeah, I also like how like this whole like motherhood and like trying to like grow out of, needing your parents thing is cool because like by the end of the final arc there's at least two major villains who end up in the bodies of little kids as like their final form.
Yeah. Oh,
Because they never outgrew needing a parent figure pretty
no.
much.
Oh no,
Cuz the manga does equate like a god to a parent in a lot of
yeah.
cases.
Oh, one of my favorite scenes, like paneling and art wise, is Hakuryu proposing to Morgiana. I really liked it
Oh yeah. Oh my
because
god.
it very intentionally parallels the way Morgiana kneels to Aladdin and Alibaba, which is like she's like making herself so powerless and at them that they force her to get up because they're like freaked out at how calm she's being. Whereas even when Hakuryu is kneeling before Morgiana, it feels really forceful and and like controlling, um, or like how it keeps like, or like how like her panel, her shackles are focused on during it, showing how like her shackles, the way he's talking is making her shackles feel more like bonds again, opposed to her wings.
Yeah.
It's a very good scene. I thought it was a
I know.
phenomenal scene.
And it's followed by the funniest thing ever when she walks back into town after, like, rejecting him. And then Alibaba is in the girly voices, you can all be my princesses tonight.
Yeah, that was amazing. That was phenomenal.
I just turned down a prince for this fucking jerk.
Fuck me. I will say we'll get to it later, but I think Magi does romantic comedy really well. I don't think it does the romance itself that well.
Uh, hmm.
We can get to it later.
Yeah, I think I can
Ma-
agree with that.
Magic School.
Oh, dude, this is a real good one. This is a real good one.
I literally have only one critique of it, which we'll get to, but I really like how literally you get here and you're like, all right, what's the catch? What's the fucking catch? Get to the catch. What is it? What is it? What do they do?
We
And then you're
already
like,
know
oh,
that you guys like did a coup and was super evil and tried to kill a little girl. Something's got to be up.
yeah, what's the catch? And then you get to the catch, you're like, oh, that is worse than I was expecting. I'll be honest. That
Yeah,
is worse than I was expecting.
you see the
Like,
population pyramid, and it's like, wait, that's like, that's like, that's like 4/5 of the
I will
country.
admit the English translation kept switching between 20 and 200,000, so I don't know what the right number is.
Hmm.
The official translation kept fucking that up, which is oh, the tiny Moggy thing. One thing the Sinbad fan translation does better than the official translation is Sinbad's attack names are really fucking cool in the anime because they're not in Japanese. But in the manga, they just translate them directly, so it's Lightning Sword, which doesn't sound cool. But in the anime, it's Lightning Sword, and I'm guessing like Arabic or something. So he's just saying cool words I don't understand. Therefore, it's automatically rad. This is the
Yeah,
trick to all cool attack names. Take basic words, put them in language I know speak. That is now a very cool attack
I
name.
know. I don't want a finger pistol. I want Tekken.
Yeah, it's like it's now cooler. Oh, I like how one thing I really liked about the slums and how fucked they were is that it's kind of the whole thing about like education and like people not being able to see outside the circle they're raised in is how because a lot of them have a technical increase in living standards, they consider it good enough, showing that even the people at the bottom of the class structure are subject to its propaganda and its continuation. I thought that was really good.
Yeah, I know, it's really cool. I just love how like the first the first part of it is just like such a good time for Aladdin because he gets to be in the privileged class, and he doesn't even realize it yet.
Yeah, I like that when Aladdin and Alibaba train, they focus on what makes them unique, not just powers, but like life experience.
Yeah, like
Like,
Alibaba remembering Kasim and like how they used to fight.
yeah, and then with Aladdin, his weird approach to magic, and it's like these, yeah, because they didn't live normal lives.
Yeah.
Oh, Puff. One thing I already wrote. I'm glad not enough normies read Moggy to make he was right jokes about the head mage.
Oh my god, dude. He was just a racist guy. I
Oh no,
do
no.
appreciate that like they do show that he's like such a great like wonderfully compassionate person. Like two other magicians. Like literally, like he goes to war for Titus, even though
With
Titus could
Titus,
die
yeah.
in like 2 months.
I think it's Titus.
He's like, no,
Yes.
my principles say that I have to fight for this boy's right to exist, even if he's gonna die in
Mhm.
2 months. I don't care. Come here with your army. Like it's like some shonen protagonist shit he
No,
says,
you know,
and
Puff,
then
that's
he'll
what
turn
I
around and
rewrote.
then
Like, no, Puff, I rewrote, like, I respect their attempts, but the sheer disgust I felt at that man when I saw his POV of non-mages, I was like, nah, we gotta kill this guy. The second I saw it, I was like, nah, this guy's gotta go. We gotta fucking kill this man. That's one of the most disgusting depictions of racism I've ever seen. This guy's gotta fucking
yeah.
die.
I like when Aladdin says, you're fit to be a king, but only a king of magicians, because the way he treats other magicians is like, he doesn't
Perfect,
like
yeah.
he doesn't act like their king. He like he's like friends with all the faculty. They like get together, have meetings.
Yeah.
Like sure, he's the headmaster and technically has more power than anyone, but like he never
Mhm.
like treats it that way. He's like, these are all my friends and peers. We study
Yeah.
together. I teach them and they teach me.
Hmm. Oh, Puff, I also wrote in the nicest way possible. I could not care less if the Magic City falls. These head mages fucking suck.
Oh
What's
no,
funny,
they
Puff, is
no.
I was given more vindication of that in the Sinbad spin-off, where it's revealed the mages were helping the Doomsday Cult
Well, we
to
knew
which
that. We knew that already in the main story.
no, but I mean that they were helping them trick Magi Hitler into genociding Sindria. And it's like, oh, these guys fucking suck. They're not just violent like war tacticians. They've been doing war crimes for decades.
Yeah. One thing that I think is actually kind of neat is that Morgamet, I think his name. I keep forgetting because it's hard to say. Morgamet like says like, why has a magician never been king before? When in Leem, Scheherazade is effectively the emperor.
Scheherazade, I think is how it's
Right,
said.
right. Scheherazade is effectively the emperor because she holds the most power. Everyone listens to what she says, and even Mu, who's the descendant of the last emperor, like bows to her and says, "I'm your servant."
Yeah.
So like
Although
there is a
that
mage in
does
charge of an
yeah,
empire, pretty much.
but that does kind of tie into the interesting thing of how like the current world is structured in a way that the people most like the previous rulers of the old world, i.e., the magicians who, the old leaders of the old world were magicians, and the Faunalies, who are the most like the ancient races, are the people basically incapable of wielding vessels, which is the way you become a ruler in this era, i.e., the ones most closely tied to the old ruling era are incapable of ruling in this era.
Yeah, it's like literally like I can't use a metal vessel because then it fucks with my shit, and then like a fawn lease is like, well, I don't have enough Mogwai to even do
It's
the
like if
thing.
I try and use it once, I think I'll explode.
I know, like Mu is like a half breed, so and like they said, like
He
he's
can use
weaker.
it once, he gets one
I know,
attack.
like the thing is, like he was like shown to be physically weak than the other finalists, so like I assume he gets like more Mogoi to make up for it,
Yeah, I
even if it's like
assume
a
that's the
little.
balance.
But and like even it's like, he could bring out Barbados for like 2 attacks and then he's done.
Yeah. My two notes for the big fuck you, we're gonna fight the big hole in the sky thing are one, the Twink Co brother blocking a laser with his sword was very cool. Just turning it into a wall, I like that a lot.
Yeah, that was cool.
Oh, other thing before that, I like how Scheherazade is like, magic is just another type of technology, you smartasses. We've invented bombs. Fuck you.
Yeah.
I really liked that. It shows magicians are not a special class of people. And then I liked how like kind of the before the big like world war, basically including Sindria and the Civil War, is proof that everyone can, in theory, work together towards a common goal, because it makes it so much more painful. How right after proving that's theoretically possible, the next thing they do is immediately all go to war with each other.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I really like Magnostaht.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
this
also
is
like
like another
Scheherazade
like.
and Titus when
Oh yeah, I like Titus a lot.
yeah,
Titus is a
Titus
good
is
character.
like basically just Aladdin from chapter 1 again. It's
Yeah,
basically his
I really
deal.
like him. He's a really good character.
Yeah, I think like one of the most emotionally powerful scenes is when he's talking to the little girl and she's like, life is beautiful though. And it's like, damn, you're so wise. It's like, yeah, I'm 3 years old. I'm older than you.
That part was very funny.
It was so cute.
I Yeah, and then we get to what is probably my favorite arc, uh, Hakuryu's big dumb civil war.
Okay, this one starts really, really strong with the very funny Alibaba lied about having a girlfriend chapter.
That
And
is
then
amazing way
it
to
gets
start it.
even better when Alibaba goes back to Balbadd and sees how it's changed. It's so good.
Oh no, I love his conflict where like it basically addresses the idea of like, uh, all right, why not let a bigger nation take you over and give you all of the resources you'll ever need? And then it's like, oh well, they also reinstituted uh not
Slavery.
chattel slavery. Like how it's like, hey man, Balbod King wanted chattel slavery. These guys are just doing indentured servitude. So like it's technically better.
Right? Like they kind of steel man so the villain sometimes saying, well, it's technically better than what was before, right? So like why are you complaining?
Yeah, but then we literally get Hassan, who is like, I hate my life so fucking much right now. This is the worst.
I remember, like you said, like the like white used to be the color the fishermen wore, but now they say I can't wear that, or now
Yeah,
they
that
say
is
they
such a
can't wear
small
that.
way to show that his culture is just gone, and show that like people are very closely tied to the cultures that they live in, and it's wrong to just force them to erase it.
Yeah, I also like love so many of the interactions they have between Alibaba and Cohen. Where like first it
Hmm.
starts like in the ceremony and like they're literally trying to get like Alibaba to bow because he's Sindria's like like a representative. So it's like, oh, if you're still like tied to Balbad, you should bow because you're a Balbad citizen. And then it's like, no, he doesn't have to, And then like if he doesn't, then that's admitting he's no longer tied to Balbad. And then he just says, and guys in Balbad, bowing like that means that you're gonna go through childbirth. Is that what you want? He just lies and they believe him.
Yeah, it was funny.
Yeah, and then
Oh yeah,
right after we like see like Cohen's household like standing right next to Alibaba's and they're just these ginormous monsters next to his.
yeah, it's funny.
Yeah.
And then I love everything Hakuryu does this arc. I love all of
I'm
it.
not
I
finished
love him
talking
so
though
much.
about Cohen and
I,
his brother
oh, you
talking to
got more
Alibaba.
Cohen? All right, what else?
Yeah.
Oh, minor Cohen complaint. Uh, why did they throw in the random incest thing? That was weird. I don't mean the mom trying to fuck him. That's funny, and
Oh
I
no,
like
I
it a
have things
lot
to
because
say
she's
about
a
that I think
freak.
is cool.
No, I like that she's a freak like that. That's good. What I don't like is Kogyoku having a crush on her brother. I was like, oh, why was you could have cut
Eh,
that?
I mean, it's not like it really goes anywhere, so it's like,
I know. I just saw it and I was like, I didn't need to see
yeah.
that.
But anyway, I like when he's arguing with Kume, whatever the smart one with the fan. And the
Yes, the
smart
smart one.
and the smart with the fan is like, okay, well, as long as people have like someone underneath them, they won't rebel. Obviously, right? So which is why we need slavery. But like that's literally not true because in Balbad there were two very important class traders, Alibaba and his brother. Like literally, they could have either one could have become king, and they still chose to fight injustice and betray Ahmad. And then
Hmm.
two is that like it's like kind of like this cool thing where it's like the weakness of like most empires is that like they constantly need to like expand and consume more resources in order to maintain their momentum and all that. And
Yeah.
slavery is one of the ways it does that. But like they want to like they're saying their plan is to create peace for all time, right? So what happens when they reach the end and there's no more like prisoners of war to make slaves? And Conway just hand waves away, like, oh, once all the fighting's done, it's done, and we won't need slaves anymore. It's like, but you admit slavery is evil, and your whole logic of like like, oh, as long as you keep someone underneath them will disappear once you stop making slaves. So do you not believe that, or are you just like using that as an excuse to use slaves or whatever?
Yeah, that
Like
that one
that the thing
basically
is they
shows like
it's like the crippling flaw of the Kou Empire is that like they're so focused on a future that's probably never going to come because they have to make an enemy of the whole world to do it. So they just
yeah,
like so they it's
yeah,
just used to justify all the atrocities they commit in pursuit of it.
yeah. It's what makes them inferior to Sinbad, who expands through alliances where he literally doesn't even touch his allies' culture. He's like, you
Yeah,
guys don't own slaves, right? No, rad.
I know, it's like literally like tolerance spreads faster and is more agreeable in the long term, so he wins. But like this is the weird thing. I love how Cohen and Sinbad have like these opposite like political ideas, right? Like like
Mhm.
imperialism and then like the alliance. But like their
Yeah,
motivations are completely mismatched. Because Cohen, like, wants to create a world where everyone will be equal with one another. That's why he made Balbad the way it was. And, like, he even
yeah,
lets, like, all of his siblings wield metal vessels, because, like, he expects some of them to succeed him, especially the fanboy. He said the fanboy will take over for him once they enter
yeah.
peacetime. But like Sinbad literally just wants to secretly control everything. So even though he's like equality's good, he's like gonna be the mastermind behind it all.
Well,
And
to be fair with the secretly thing, you could argue, as it's shown in the palace, Sinbad is not fully aware of what his own inner motivations are.
yeah, but he says like he doesn't trust the power of a king to anyone else by the end of the spinoff. So it's
Yeah,
like
yeah, he's always thought that.
literally he's trying to keep metal vessels out of other people's hands, even his own allies, because like no, I'm the only true king.
You
Shut
say
up.
that. Where was
Stop
that
it.
said? Like, I believe he does that, but when was that said?
It's like the second to last chapter where like they find Zagan, and then like it's like I can't get in because I have 7 metal vessels, and they said I can't get another one, so let's
Oh,
hide
okay.
it, make sure no one else can get to it. And it's like, but we could tell one of our allies about it, and it's like no, nah, I'm the only one
I
that
mean, he
deserves the
did
power of
tell
a
an
king.
ally. He just told a Kuryu.
Yeah. I think that
Because
was
he
just
planned
like
on making him into an ally.
well, I think that was only because like they needed Zagan to heal the poison thing.
Well, also, I think it'd be funny if in his head he's like, Alibaba's a scrappy little shit like me. He'll get a second metal vessel just like I did. Then he comes out and he's like, ah, never mind. He is, in fact, not the second to me.
Well, I'm looking for the panel because I swear I see it.
Alright.
I know it's like the second or like yeah, here it is.
Well, no, obviously I get he hit it.
Yeah. There it is. What are we going to do?
Yeah, I
We
know.
can't afford to leave the dungeon as it is, or if it's only about the metal vessel, one of our comrades can conquer it. They can't. The power to be king is only mine.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's more so just that, like, I think the other reason Sinbad has such a different view from Cohen is, again, the way they were educated and raised. Sinbad has been through the fucking ringer and also, like, educated himself in the world, so he understands the importance of people's, like, feelings and experiences, which is why he wouldn't, like, destroy a culture. Whereas Cohen is very knowledgeable in the sense that he is extremely well read, which is why he just does the thing that seems the most like pragmatic without accounting for the fact that like everyone's going to be unhappy and hate you.
Yeah. I also love that like after the Almatron flashback, like Sinbad and Cohen both just take it to justify their own like ideals. Like, oh yeah, of
Yeah, it's
course,
very
one
funny.
supreme king is inevitable. Like, that's what happened. It's an inevitability. Someone has to be one supreme king, and Cohen like his politics say that, so that's like, oh, my politics are right. And then Sinbad thinks my secret motivations are correct because of what happened.
Yeah, it's funny.
Yeah.
I mean, you say like secret motivations, but Aladdin infers those are his motivations within like 5 conversations with him in Syndria.
Well, yeah, but I think that's because he knows about Almatron and sees Sinbad has 7 metal vessels. It's like, that's not how the system's supposed to work, is it?
I think no, I think Alibaba. I think Aladdin also just doesn't like Sinbad's vibe in general.
Oh,
Like
yeah,
he can
no.
tell Sinbad wants to use him.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, why would you want to do that
Oh,
if
yeah,
you're a
like,
cool
I
guy? That doesn't
love
make
that
any
scene
sense.
where Sinbad says, hey, Aladdin, do you want to come with me to a peace talk as Sindria's Magi? And then he's like, but
And
I'm
he's
not.
like,
I'm not Sindria's
no,
Magi, though. I'm
no,
not
no,
Sindria's
no.
Magi,
I
though.
love Sinbad's face after that because it's just like a smile, but it very clearly expresses his like, God fucking damn it. Like he doesn't say anything, but you could tell that's what he's thinking. He's like, ah, son of a bitch.
Yeah.
It's very good.
Yeah. I
Flashback,
also like
right? Or
how
no, no,
like
I got things I wanted to
yeah,
say about
I also like how Alibaba meeting Cohen like is like a very strong parallel to the Sinbad spinoff where he meets Barbarossa, because like, oh, they return to their home country, see how much it's changed, and is like, like kind of impressed by Sinbad's
Mhm.
like impressed by the changes and wants to like, take from it, whereas Alibaba's disgusted by them. And both of them are then have a chance to, become king again. Like, he's like, hey, Barbarossa, can I get land for my kingdom? And Cohen says, Alibaba, you will be my right hand, and then I'll make you king of Balbadd one day if you do a good enough job. And then like the difference is like, obviously Sinbad is like chomping at the bit, like, yes, I want that land, give me the land, give me the land. Whereas Alibaba's response is a lot more like King Solomon's, where he just reluctantly is like, well, I guess I have to be a king, fuck.
Yeah.
Because they can't see another way out of it.
Yeah, but then Hakuryu fucking ruins everything. My go.
Oh no, he's great. I loved him so much.
No, I love how he's like, "Yeah, yeah, 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 who's gonna rule the world? Fuck you! I want to overthrow my corrupt siblings. I don't give a shit about this other stuff. What are you talking
Yeah. Do you want to
about?"
talk about the Almatron flashback first? Because that technically came first.
It did,
It
man.
did.
Oh,
What
it did.
happens
You're
is,
right. You're right. You're right.
Alibaba goes to Balbadd again.
Yeah,
They
sure. We
talk
can
with
talk
one.
about that.
Yeah. So I like how Sheba, like, like, kind of starts her arc in the same place as Aladdin, like, like or
Yeah.
Tidus, like, trapped in this one place, educated in this one specific way. She's kind of what, like, someone born in Magnostaht would have become if they were, like, Morgamot got his way, right?
Hmm.
Like, and then
Yeah.
I also love how her arc, like, literally ends in that arc, just her being another religious zealot, just this time for Solomon instead of
Yeah, because it's the whole
Ilah.
thing of like people that leave cults end up just joining different cults.
Yeah. And that wouldn't have happened if Solomon didn't, leave her, which was his greatest mistake.
Otherwise, there's a lot of good visual imagery of atrocity in that flashback.
Yeah. Yeah, I like his relationship with Arba. Arba, by the way, is the hottest character no matter what body she's in. I'm gonna say that. Not
All
all but
right.
one, all but one body she's in. I'll say that.
Yeah, as I say, you shouldn't.
Yeah,
Um,
and I
I
like
don't
how
agree with that.
I like her his relationship with her, where he's like, can you keep calling me boy, because everyone's treating me like I'm a king, and eventually some of them a god. Can you just treat me like I'm a person? And she's like, sure, I'll try to do that. And that's like her trying to keep her promise, and that's one of her motivations for doing what she did, is trying to keep
Yeah.
Solomon as like a person in her head and not a god. I like that.
Oh, one thing I forgot about the Almatron, the nuke they did on Magnostadt. Um, the endless hands thing is like, oh, that's like that gives real Buddha vibes. I like that.
Yeah.
And then, no, I think the flashback is effective. I can see why it lost a lot of people because it is very fucking jarring to what we know about the
Oh yeah,
story.
I know. Once like you go, it's like, oh, it was in a different dimension. What? Okay. And then
Right.
yeah. It's a big leap.
No, I can see why it lost a lot of people. It's a lot at once.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember a funny thing Chess and I talked about because we read that arc at the same time. It was like, all right, so her kid is Aladdin, like definitely. But we're like, but wouldn't it be kind of funny if it was Judar? Like we kept saying that. Like, it's definitely 100% Aladdin. But what if it was Judar?
What if it was Judar? That is a
No, we
very interesting what if.
no, we just kept saying that. No, like because it was before the reveal. We're just like, it'd be what if though? It'd be kind of funny.
Dude, we did know, I think we did know at this point that Arba did just kill Judar's like family or village and like took
Yeah.
him there. So like, ooh, what if that was Sheba and she took
No, that's what we
him
meant.
from
It's like it's
Sheba?
theoretically possible.
Yeah. I also like how uh Ugo and Aladdin's relationship, like, this is kind of like a pairing that they like keep remaking, and like sometimes it succeeds and sometimes it fails, is that there'll be like two pairs. One of them is the guy with the administrative know-how, and the other is like a symbol of authority, and if they team up in the right way they can do the job well. That would be like, the first example is like Kasim and Alibaba, which like neither, they had their own drama going on, so that didn't work. In the spin-off you have Sinbad and what was her name? Pink haired lady. Fuck. Shit. I just damn it. I was editing earlier. I
Who are
heard
you
her
trying to
name.
think of?
The scorpion lady, the one in the spin-off, the one who gets
Oh, I
Zephyr
don't remember
first.
her fucking name. I just remember that I didn't like her.
Yeah, it's like she tries to be that with Sinbad, and it doesn't work because Sinbad's a greedy fuck. And then like you kind of see it work.
Also,
Uh,
she's deranged in her own way.
yeah, and then you kind of see it work in Almaturan, but and with Ugo, but like it doesn't work later on because Ugo never
Sarah
saw himself.
Dean, I think.
Celandine,
Sarah
I think
Dean,
that's it.
Sarah Dean. How's it
Yeah.
pronounced?
I think it was Celandine. I think so.
Oh,
That's how I said
fucking
in the.
LR bullshit.
Yeah. And
I
Ugo.
think it's usually translated with an R, but an L makes more sense. I
Yeah.
don't know.
Like the only time it's ever done successfully, like in the story, like unequivocally, is when Alibaba and Kogiku team up in the final arc, and it's great, and I love that,
Yeah.
and we'll talk about it.
Hmm. Anyway, time for my goat, Hakurio.
Dude, I can't wait. I can't wait for Zuko. Zuko's so cool.
Yeah. What if Zuko actually was that fucking guy? What if Zuko was like, I don't fucking need the Avatar. Fucking watch this.
Hey Azula, come here.
We're gonna fuck shit up. uh, no, I really like how he does like the just cause thing where he's like, yeah, sure, I'm torturing and brainwashing people, but like it's like co-soldiers. These guys have done insane atrocities. Who fucking cares what I do to them? Like, who gives a shit? And I like the way he gets his hypnosis power in the first place, and how that Jin. I like how we learn that every non-combat Jin is like, "Welcome to my trial, where I fuck with you in the brain for a while and see what you do."
I think one interesting thing they did with that is that because he didn't like actually pass the Jin's trial, Jiro just fucking like brute forces it with his stupid
Yeah.
Ila powers. He didn't like actually like learn the lesson the Jin wanted him to like learn. So when Alibaba later shows up and is like, I'm trying to use your emotional weakness to gouge at you and trying to appeal to you,
Hmm.
and to talk with you. He equates him trying to get real with him with like hurting him and like gouging out his heart, because that's what happened in the dungeon. Whenever he refused to face the truth, like the Jin would like hurt him in the dungeon, and
Yeah.
because he never internalized the lesson, because he cheated the lesson, because Judar cheated the lesson for him. It's cool.
Yeah, it's very fun.
Yeah.
Uh,
I also
the one
love how
super.
his fight against Arba is great, because it like perfectly parallels Arba killing David in the flashback, because
Yeah.
David just was to her what she was to him. So like A, you get like a cycle of hatred thing, and B, in both cases they failed. David gets to come back as a god later, and Arba
Mhm.
is like, this doesn't even like do anything to Arba. Arba's fine. She has like bodies to choose from. This doesn't
Yeah,
even slow her
I,
down.
I will admit one seed that I think the author planted as a maybe and then didn't use is right at the very end where it's like, oh, she's almost dead and they're struggling to get her. He bites her, gets her blood in his mouth, and she says, "You bit me, you idiot." And it's like, oh, that's like a seed where like she can use that if she wants to.
Yeah.
With the author, the author's like, I might use that.
There's
It
actually
just
one.
felt
Oh,
like that.
there's actually one of those that like I thought about. I forget like when this happens. I think this might have been like near Balbadd, I think.
I wonder if you're thinking what I'm thinking of. What are you thinking of?
Oh wait, no, I think like this was after Balbadd. I'm thinking about, there's this one page where it says Ugo, and then like name, and then in like the text box underneath it says Ugo, name an Amatron, unknown, or like it just had a bunch of
Yeah,
mystery marks, right? So like
yeah,
question marks. So like it was like, was he gonna be like King Solomon at one point? Because I think that was the only name we remember in
maybe.
Almatron. So like I was wondering if they
Oh,
were planning that for a bit, or maybe
oh,
not.
there's that's reminded me of a fun it's like it's a funny just dropped plot point, which was Sinbad's unnamed sleeper cells.
No, I think we know who they are.
No, we don't. We don't learn all of them.
It was Kogyoku,
Yeah, we know that
the
one.
prince in Parthivia, and
Was the prince confirmed?
I don't think it was like hard confirmed, but like judging by the way the narration went and the fact that you couldn't see his pupils the last time Sinbad talked to him, I'm only guessing it was like, I think the narration literally says no one knows why these events like happened, and
That's what I mean. Like, it felt like they were keeping it vague for a payoff, and like, Sinbad's in charge now. Who fucking cares how he
yeah.
did it? And then I don't
But
think
like,
we ever got a very clear answer on the third one.
oh yeah, I think you're
Because
right
it was
about that.
someone in Syndria, right?
I think that's what he said. Yeah.
Yeah, who the fuck would that be?
Hmm.
Was there someone he was worried was disloyal? I wonder if that's what it was. I wonder if originally there was going to be a disloyal general, and then they changed their mind on that.
Hmm. Yeah, maybe.
What else do we got here? Um, one thing I really liked about the General War is like it kind of contrasted the Magic School arc with showing the different things that bring people together and like tear them apart. Whereas the last one was about how like, oh dude, our likeness and our family will bring us together, and the things that tear us apart are our differences in that. Whereas in this, it's like, dude, Hakuryu hates the people in his own nation so fucking
I know.
much. He loathes these people.
I also love how it shows like another one of like Ko's hypocrisies, like when they were arguing with Alibaba, it's like, yeah, once we unite the world, things will be cool, and then a civil war happens. Because of
Yeah, like
course,
immediately.
people are gonna fight each other no matter like if there's one big country,
Yeah,
people
because
just
yeah,
fight
the
in the
problem
big
is when you
country.
take the world over by war, the people you take over are not gonna like you.
And also the fact that you're just like breeding a warlike mindset within your own country kind of like encourages backstabbing to reach the top because that's what keeps happening.
Yeah, like just the mere
Especially
fact
with
that
Arba there, like egging everyone on.
yeah. Oh no, like Hakuryu is one of the most just things that Hakuryu points out, where he's like, "You guys were just like smugly letting the cult work with you under the assumption you could beat them one day. You're so stupid. You're so dumb."
uh,
And then Hakuryu
one
versus Alibaba is probably just my favorite 1v1 in the series.
well, it's technically a 2v2, but
Yeah, but the other two don't fucking. They're busy fucking fighting each other.
yeah.
He's
uh
busy throwing ice at Aladdin and calling him cringe. It's a
yeah.
1v1.
I think that this might be generally the only example of two metal vessel users just fighting head to head for an extended
Yeah,
period of
full
time,
power, I think it
and
is.
with a full Jin equip. Because the only other times is like is just when people are training against each other, I think,
And I
or
like
like
because yeah, like they yeah, and I like that Alibaba fails more because as he admits later, Hakuryu's taunts about how he isn't worthy to be king did get to him because everyone telling him he needs to be king did put the idea in his head when he had previously gotten rid of it.
Yeah. I like how like leading up to it, you kind of have Alibaba at his lowest point because like, oh, he was forced to obey Cohen, like it has to be a king. Then he learned Sinbad. His like this guy he looked up to is actually a scumbag. So it's like, okay, I guess like I can't live up to any of my beliefs, and even my hero can't live up to his. So I guess like I do have to just do this. And then like once he's Hakuryu taunts him, he's like, all right, I guess I'll just try and kill you then. And then like he can't even go through with it at the end because he aims for his legs instead, and Hakuryu
Yeah,
went for his head. I really like
yeah.
that's how it ended.
Yeah, because I like how it's like when both of them are forced to make like so many condolences and sacrifices for their goals. Hakuryu's like, fuck it, fine, who gives a shit? Sure.
But
And
Alibaba will hesitate at every step.
Alibaba's like, no, I don't. I'm wishy washy about this. Yeah, I liked all of that. And then a
It
time
was really
skip
good.
happens.
Oh, don't you have anything to say about Aladdin versus Judar?
It's funny that he can force push on him.
Dude,
That's
it was
really funny.
scary when I first read that. That was
No,
like
no. When I
scary.
read
That's
that, literally, like I remember I talked about this with Chess. It's like, okay, does that mean theoretically he could just counter Arba's instant regen by just forcing Burn to always be on her,
probably.
just constantly fucking writhing in pain.
Although, like, I wonder if like his like ability like might have like a lesser effect on fallen people because it's supposed to rewrite the laws, but like the people who fall already kind of do that.
It
Uh,
might, like I don't see any fucking Fallen activating the weird fucking dimensional plane
that's
shit.
true.
That's clearly so. That's gonna be some Aladdin bullshit.
Yeah.
No, it was a fun fight. I
You know,
liked it.
I do love how like everyone's just unhappy by the end because this shouldn't have even happened in the first place, so no one really wins.
No, and I do like how literally like Aladdin's like ultimate solution to all of the questions about the world Judar's pushing on him is to literally push Judar away so he doesn't have to deal with it. Like he's literally stalling.
Yeah. I also love
It's
the workaround they had for like, oh, I rode with the law so that you'll always be in this one direction, and then that's how we learned that the Dark Continent isn't in the same dimension technically.
yeah, it's fun.
Yeah.
And then a time skip happens.
Woohoo.
Oh, by the way, I liked the conclusion with the Kuryu and the Kou brothers. That was all very
Oh
funny.
yeah,
I liked it.
like where he almost tries to kill himself, then Morgion's like, no, own your mistakes, and it's like, okay.
And then the brother just doing the thing he said he'd do and being like, all right, well, I guess you fucking did it. You achieved more or less combined worlds. So I guess I'll retire now. Good job.
Yeah. I do love like the scene where like he gives his limbs to a Kuryu and then like like that like one act of kindness like is what pushes a Kuryu out of what happened and also is better in the long run because it means both of them are half fallen and can help fight Sinbad at the end of the
Yeah,
story.
it's
Like it's
cool.
really cool. Like Cohen's like ability to like like let go of power and like let someone succeed him is what allows him to resist Sinbad later on, and it's
Yeah.
cool. That's also like literally the
Uh,
answer Kuryu throws in his trials that like yes I'm willing to relinquish my power the way that Cohen did.
yeah. All right, and then anyway, next we have a time skip. Do we want to talk about Sinbad? Do we want to try and fit all that in this video?
Let's what let's fuck it let's go for
Yeah, let's just do
actually.
that, and then maybe worst case scenario, we'll have a
Okay, you
comment
know what?
video
We're actually
next
like,
week.
yeah. No, how about like, we do comments now, and then we do Sinbad and final arc, and then whatever comments we get on this one.
Okay.
Or do you
So
think
we're
that
gonna.
wouldn't be long enough, or do you want
No,
to just
I
try and
think
cram
we
it all
should just
here?
do all the arcs right now, and then we'll just do comments next vid.
Oh,
I think
okay.
it'll be fine.
Are we gonna get
All right.
like enough though? I mean, how many Magi comments are we gonna get?
We'll see. You never fucking know. We already have. But to clarify though, one thing I'll say is the few Magi comments we got are fucking long, so people are
Okay.
very good at expressing their Magi
Oh,
opinion.
thank you, thank you, thank you. Magi fans are
Oh,
out there.
and
Yeah.
actually, Puff, there is one big thing that I haven't touched on that I'll clarify. We'll talk about, which is Magi and its myriad of problematic analogies. We will say and allegories. We'll
Oh.
save that for next
Oh,
week.
that'll be
There's a
fun.
lot. I know. I know about Magnostaht. I know about the Hitler country. That's probably the least problematic. I know about all of the fucking Faunalese shit and the mess that is that. We can
Yeah.
talk about all of that.
The
That's
thing is,
next
like,
week.
I have 3 videos planned on my main channel for Magi, and like, I was
Mhm.
wondering maybe like it would be fun to do a fourth one about like the like historical parallels, but like I'm not smart enough for that.
No, it'd be very
I don't
hard.
know
And
enough
also, there's
about that,
so many. Yeah,
and like it's
we'll
already like
we'll
kind of messy, so like I'm not confident I could do it.
Oh, Puff, when I tell you just how fucking messy the Magnoshot parallel is, you're gonna understand why I assumed it was wrong until I checked and saw someone else make the connection when it was airing weekly. I
Yeah.
was like, okay, this is probably
Yeah,
intentional.
like already Ko being like like imperial warring China
Like Maoist revolution China at the same time
and
is
also and
interesting.
also communist China all in
No,
one
that's
is
what the
like
Maoist revolution China is.
oh yeah, I'm dumb. Anyway, it's like a head spin to me.
No, it's very. I feel like that one's a lot smoother though. It kind of just feels like China composite.
Yeah.
We'll get to all that next week. Anyway, I guess we could speed run the Sinbad manga now.
Sinbad spinoff. It starts off real slow because it's just like exactly
Oh
what you'd
no,
expect it to be.
yeah, it's the other thing I said of like the Sinbad spinoff because of the nature of the type of story it is going to have a lot of just like it's like yeah we'll fucking do this beat and then we'll do this beat and then we'll do this beat. Um,
I do really like how the Adventures of Sinbad are used in the main story as like like a Sinbad who has like literally main character energy and wants to be the most important guy ever
yeah.
is literally introduced as the protagonist of his own story, which was pretty
I do
cool.
like how he's embarrassed whenever people bring up the embellishments he makes in his own stories.
Yeah, and like the thing is like
He's like,
even
"Yeah, dude, I heard you did this epic shit." He's like, "I did not do that." Oh, God, why do you think I actually did that? Are you stupid?
yeah, uh, I do
One
like.
thing oh, you can say it.
Yeah, probably the best part of like the early part of the thing I like is that like how it establishes his love of adventure stories and like like even though like the guy like feeding him the stories was himself a spy and like probably lied about
Mhm.
some of it. So it's like, oh, stories are like fake to some degree, so he doesn't mind like spinning them however he wants when
Yeah,
it's his
or
turn
like
to write
that,
them.
that was my thought with that guy. Where like the thing we see is like I would say the first like major Sinbad uptick in his place in the world is when he tells stories to get money and when he uses power and threats to get trades. And it's like in that sense you realize that Sinbad is not like his mom and his dad. He's like the storyteller.
Yeah, he's
Because
like the
just like the storyteller, he will tell wondrous tales to get people on his side and to get people to like him. But when that doesn't work, he will immediately switch to threats.
yeah. Like I
The
do love.
easiest example is like him getting rich with his stories and then going to the Spear Kingdom and being like, I could nuke your fucking kingdom if I wanted to. You better do what I say.
Is there something in your background?
The fuck? Oh wait, hold on.
And I love
Here
how
we go.
like it kind of goes back to what I said, like he's like a stereotypical high fantasy hero, but like what happens is like he's not like almost not at all influenced by any of his allies, and instead is more influenced by the villains as he slowly becomes more like them throughout the spin-off. Like the only times
Which I
the
think comes from the fact that because it's a thing Aladdin said of how, or Alibaba said of how like while Sinbad will acknowledge people's strengths, he acknowledges them as things he can use, whereas Alibaba, when someone has a strength he doesn't, he acknowledges them as his equals or his superiors. So any ally Sinbad gets who has something he can't do, he's like, all right, that's one of my goons. Whereas a villain is like, well, they're not going to work for me, so I need to take what they are good at and use it for myself.
Yeah, like I think the only two times one of his comrades influences him is like Mazir, like like pushes him out of like being complacent as a slave, which like just kind of pushes him back to who he was before he became one. And then Jafar, which just says like, yeah, don't be afraid to get your hands dirty, do what you want. We'll back each other up on it. We'll do what we
And
think
those
is
are
right.
more just like reinforcing
Yeah, it's
like
just reinforcing
his
what he's
true self.
becoming. Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
basically giving him like license to be a scumbag, basically.
Because like another thing that Sinbad picked up is like Sinbad does have like a cruel streak in him, but you can tell he doesn't like it because he finds ways to push the actual violence onto other people. The two easy examples are the slave revolt that he did not need to do. Um, and like they like literally if the deal went wrong, he would have gotten all of those kids killed, but he wanted like the violent revolution to happen,
Yeah.
knowing that tons of slave kids would die because he wanted it. And the second is the slave traffickers, where they're like, why didn't you turn them in, Sinbad? And it's like it's pretty obvious. If he turned them in, they probably would not have gotten killed. But he knows by leaving them with their victims, they will die, and that's what he wants. But he won't actually dirty his hands.
Yeah.
I like that's a fun thing he picked up.
Yeah, I like how in Zephar's dungeon, like we're kind of like led to believe that like oh Sinbad's already won, he's already won because we saw him use
Yeah,
Zephar in the main story, and it's like oh no he lost in a verbal debate. Oh no.
and I love how he just lost because he's dumb and doesn't know enough.
I know, but you know what's like my favorite part about that? This makes like the final arc so much cooler because literally he challenges like Akuru, Aladdin, Alibaba, and Judar to verbal debates, like the method he once lost at to try and prove that like he is better than he once was.
Yeah. I think another example of him not wanting to dirty his hands is like basically the most fucked up thing that happened to him is when Celadine or Celadine, Sarah, however the fuck you say her name, the girl, Scorpion I don't like, a spider I don't like, whatever she is she challenges him to a duel as a trick to take over his mind, whereas Sinbad I think intentionally prefers to be an opportunist in the sense of he won't directly tell you, but the second you offer to him, he takes that as full permission to take advantage of you in every way possible.
Yeah.
Like the second Kogokyu reveals she has a crush on him, he's like, "All right, I will use this to my ends." And the second she's like, "Do you want to duel me?" He's like, "I will use this to my ends." But he won't outright challenge her.
Also, he picked up from Matter how to seduce children.
Yeah, he did pick that up. Not really though, because her thing is a lot different than his.
I know it is, but like he found
No,
his
it's a
own
funny
method.
joke. Oh no, that's just one of his natural
Dude,
talents.
I love,
Um,
dude, it's so funny how he literally just assaults a 13-year-old like near the end of the spin-off.
not good.
It's so
One thing,
funny. He
not
just
good. One
is
thing,
what that guy he is. Like they were
yeah.
joking when they said no, we can't trust him around women.
One thing that's why I really like the Bird Woman arc, where they're like, dude, being a smug, flirty fuck is not gonna make us like you. Fuck off. Like that was like an actual challenge to show that like his general demeanor will not always get him his way in the world, and he needs to learn how to adapt. I like that.
Yeah.
I just like the male wife society in general. They're very fun. Um, and then like obviously slavery arc was just fun because it was really Sinbad just going through the fucking ringer.
I know, like, dude, I swear that like, when I first saw him in the slave collar, I was like, the Magi has been waiting to draw him like that the
No, I
whole
saw
time.
this and I was like, oh, is this just gonna be horny? And then he got tortured into sound. I'm like, oh, never mind, this is fucked.
I know.
And then obviously, but the funniest scene because literally, there's Discord proof of this. I was like, I don't like Celadrine, and then I met we met Hitler before we knew he was Hitler, and I was like, I like this guy. This guy's charming. And then immediately after, Hitler's like, choose between me and Celadrine, Sinbad. When like I think literally I like a few minutes prior was like, I like this guy more. Sinbad should pick him, and I was like, hey, he agrees with me too. And right after, it's like, oh man, he's Hitler. But then to justify me, she's like, I also like genocide. And I was like, okay, they're both deranged. Okay. Oh,
I
thank
love
God.
how like the parallel between them is that like, oh, I believe I'm a superior person because of my race, and someone's like, I'm a superior person just in general.
Yeah, I'm a singularity, damn it. No, I do like how, because Chaz didn't believe me, and I was like, no, this guy is like legitimately like the closest Sinbad has come to getting like a natural, like immediately clicks friend. And Chaz is like, I thought he was manipulating him, but no, at the end, they both just lament the fact that they didn't get to be friends. They are just legitimately sad that the fact that he's Hitler stopped them from being
I know,
friends.
and dude, I love it so much. He's again like, he's the high fantasy hero guy. He believes in equality. He's making friends in everyone from every country ever, and then he'll shake hands with Hitler to get what he wants.
No, obviously, like that's why Sindria falling is his own fault because like that Sindria was literally built on the graves of his hometown, literally.
I know.
So it's like it was his own fucking fault is the thing. Where like he should not have sided with Hitler, and then Celadrine would have gone insane anyway, and then gone to war with Hitler, and then they would have killed each other, and it's like hooray, all the evils are gone.
Yeah,
They all
I
fucked
do
off.
like
Let's go.
I do like with Celandine like how like she's already proven that her words can change Sinbad's mind, but she gives up
Mhm.
on it because he was too much of a jerk. It's like,
Yeah,
oh, I guess she'll just resort to using Zephar's spell, and then failing gets to dig her claws into both of them.
yeah. I do think it's funny how at the end they make Sinbad the literal Nazi sympathizer, the least evil person, because the other two are Hitler himself and then a doomsday cultist. And it's like, yeah, I guess he is the best out of the three somehow. How did that happen?
He's the hero the setting needs.
No, literally, my favorite, the most stressful part about reading the Sinbad flashback is characters where you can't remember if you saw them in Sindria or not.
Oh, you're thinking of the
Like,
Spear Boy and his little brother?
no, I knew he was fucked because I knew it wasn't him. The
Okay.
big one for me was Hina Ho-Ho's wife, where I was like, there was a woman in Sindria. Was that his daughter or his wife? Oh, fuck. Please be his wife. She's giving so, like, she's like a maternal figure to everyone. That's such a fucking death
Yeah.
flag. And I can't remember if I saw it or
I
not.
I
Oh,
like how
no.
she's just like Baba but extended.
I don't care. No, wait, no, she was the most stressful character for me because I was like, I can't remember if she dies. I was like, oh, I can't remember if I saw her or not.
I know.
That was very fun. Good stuff all around. Shows that Sin also like they're more than willing to just show that Sinbad's kind of fucking deranged,
Yeah.
but pretty frequently.
Oh, this reminds
And
me. There was the second time where I'm wondering is Ugo doing some fuck shit is in the spinoff where like he's in the fight against Mazir, and you know how Sinbad has that ability to like read the flow of destiny and predict his opponent's moves and stuff.
yeah,
He says I couldn't see that coming when Mazir punches him, or like I couldn't predict
yeah.
this. And then immediately after, Jafar's like, "Oh, I gotta help," and then he realized, "Wait, my household vessel isn't activating. What the fuck's going on? This has never happened before." So I was wondering if like Ugo was like, "No, he's got to be a slave for at least 6 months if he's gonna be the king I want him to be."
That's funny. Oh, to clarify, with Puff calling him Mazir, if you get confused like me, it's the character where the pronunciation is hard. I think it's Mosror, but it might be Masir because half the time it's an I and half the time it's a U.
Yeah, yeah.
I think it's Mosror because that's how I remember it in the anime.
Yeah, no, I might be wrong. Who
No, I
knows?
don't remember.
I'm gonna have to apologize for pronunciation in my main
To be
channel
fair,
videos.
like Titus is like probably correct.
Titus.
Uh, Shihair is, I think it's Titus.
I could have sworn the
There's
enemy
a,
said Titus.
oh, okay, I don't remember. I just assumed Titus because it looks like Titos, and I was like, that's probably what he's named
Yeah.
after. Then I knew Scheherazade was right because I remember the "Friend Like Me" song.
Oh, one thing if I say like about Scheherazade, I like how her, her constantly making more bodies to extend her life kind of parallels like some of the other villains' faults of like not willing to relinquish power and trust someone
Yeah.
else to do your job. Oh, and that's another cool thing
All
about the
right.
Sinbad spinoff is that like, okay, problem with the kings is that like there will be good kings, but eventually they'll fucking die, and then a shit one will take his place. But I was like, no, 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 republics don't have that problem. I also
It's
like how
funny.
King Rashid was like, even though Sinbad's like, I'm the greatest, I'm the singularity, I'm the coolest dude ever. King Rashid's like the one person who like he genuinely is like,
I think his name is Rashad.
Rashad is like the generally the one person who's like, you're cool though. You're like my teacher, my mentor, and then like he still calls him his teacher even after like he's become a king and he's dead.
Yeah, and it's like you one-upped me and outsmarted me, but not like maliciously.
Yeah, and you were a pretty great king, all things considered, considering your competition.
You know, you had slums, which Syndria doesn't, because we're awesome. But like otherwise, you're pretty
Yeah,
good.
he had slums, but that's better than Hitler. That's better
Oh no,
than
no. You say that, but the funniest part about Syndria is you and I talked about this. He definitely based his economy on Balbadd, but it seems like he actually based like his society around Hitler.
Okay,
Because it's like,
you're
yeah, it's
better
like
than
immense social
Hitler.
services. Everyone within Syndria has pretty much free access to anything they'd ever need.
Yeah, and I kind of thought like, oh, the reason Bollywood has slums is because they're not willing to abuse slave labor to get like like more pump more money into the economy. Whereas like that's how
But
Leem
then,
and Co.
like, I
like.
feel like Syndria kind of shows that's not true.
Well, yeah, but I think that's just because Sinbad's just doing it better and gooder, and not because
Yeah, so
there was a.
maybe you should have done that.
Oh yeah, I guess it's just like because like Leem and Co. both the biggest empires, and they seem pretty well off, and they're well off largely because they have slaves. So it's like I guess it was like Rash was like, okay, slavery's shit and stupid. Slums are better.
It's like, he's not
I'll take
perfect,
it. I'll
obviously,
take
but
it.
he's good enough, I guess.
He's probably the best king before Sinbad.
Bars in hell, but yeah, I
Yeah, bars
guess.
in hell, but yeah. Except
It's
like
either
maybe,
him or like
except like maybe
he's
one of the
not a
smaller
king, but like
nations.
the Ichak head chief seems chill as fuck.
Yeah, maybe he's the best, but like we never focus on him like for
Well,
too
that's
long.
because they don't actually have a kingdom; they have a republic,
Yeah,
which is also which is also funny.
yeah.
Um. Anyway, time for the final arc. I really liked Alibaba helping Kogyoku start her own business. It was very cute and
It was
fun, and I was
so
having a
awesome.
great time.
I love
I was
every
having
second
such
of
a
it.
good time. I was having I
Okay,
love him.
one note about that section. If I could rewrite one joke in Magi, it would be the one where Alibaba is with Koku Bun in the commercial. And it's like, but isn't the
Awesome.
but isn't the freezer expensive? And Alibaba should have said, not anymore, because using my sword of Amon, I've cut the price in half.
That
Just
would have
like
been
just
very funny.
advertising the fact that was a dungeon capture like Sinbad.
But he
I
can't show off his sword of a monk 'cause he doesn't have
no no no
it.
no, it's a fake one just for the
That'd
commercial.
be funny. That'd be funny. Uh, and then yeah, I think yeah, because otherwise like it's very fun. You like seeing how I love Alibaba's like entitledness towards Sinbad. It's like he's the only because he hasn't been here for 3 years. He still just views Sinbad as like this infinitely generous person. So he's just like, yeah, I can make demands of Sinbad. Isn't he king of the world now? What the hell can I not ask him to
Yeah,
do?
and Sinbad is like kind of like sure because like he feels a debt to King Rashton. The only way he could get through that is like his through his son.
That and like you could tell, like I think he's like straight up perplexed that Alibaba's the first person to do this to him. Because there's the time where he says, "Do it," and he's like, "Okay," and then literally Jafar's like, "Why did you do that?" And he's like, "I don't know."
I do love how like he'll
like
defy Sinbad like at every turn and then ask for favors in the ways he's not expecting. Just oh, he's just really, really, really throwing a wrench in his plan and everything. Like even like the
yeah,
travel card he gave him is like if I show this to the guards, I can talk to Kogyoku like easily, but fuck that. I'm just gonna walk in. I'm just gonna
I want to
walk through the
flex my
guards.
cool new power.
I also
And
love
I
his
like how
power because like it's such a good like contrast to Sinbad's where Sinbad's I predict the
yeah,
future
that one's
and
pretty
I dodge
obvious.
all your moves and it's like oh I see the present in slow motion because I care about the present and then I
Yeah,
dodge
like
all
it's
your
pretty
moves.
obvious. It's a guy who sees too far ahead versus a guy who's able to hyper focus on the present. It's a That's why I really like the panel and the short of if Alibaba and Sinbad traveled together, because it's like Alibaba would have been really good for Sinbad.
Yeah, like that cover
Because he would
page.
not have just been adherent to him if they were the same age. He would be demanding of him and chastising him in a way Jafar wouldn't. Where he'd be like, Sinbad, you're being a real dick right now. Sinbad's like,
Dude,
what?
dude,
He's like, stop being a dick right now.
this cover page has been on my has been open in my browser for so long because I'm just like I'm gonna use this in the video at some point. I gotta use it in the video at
Yeah.
some point.
Yeah, because like yeah, the point is like Alibaba and Sinbad would have been good for each other if they were kids at the same time.
Yeah. It would have been like, okay, Alibaba, you can get this dungeon. You can get the gin for this one. I'll step aside for a minute.
Dude, you just like as you see Alibaba struggling, you just see Sinbad fucking like white knuckling. He's like, he's my friend. I gotta let him have one.
And for Alibaba's
Why?
and Alibaba's like, why are you acting like you're being benevolent? You have 4 already. Let me have one.
He's like, why are you so grumpy? You don't even know if you can get 5. Let me have this, you ass. And you're gonna teach me how to use it too, by the way, jackass.
I also like how Yunnan dresses Alibaba in like Sinbad's old clothes
Sinbad's clothes.
or like something that like resembled it, but just because like
Yeah.
he had because like obviously
Yeah, he's still,
the time he most
yeah.
admired Sinbad was when he was young and like just like just first setting out into the world, being like I'm gonna make it better, and he's like yeah you
Yeah,
kid you do
and
that.
Alibaba is following in Sinbad's footsteps of becoming a merchant.
Yeah.
And also it's just a funny juxtaposition of the way Alibaba was drawn in it to the way Sinbad was drawn in it. Is like Sinbad, that shit was form fitting. It was fit to his musculature. Whereas in Alibaba, it's this baggy piece of shit.
Yeah.
That part's just funny.
Yeah.
And then Yunnan
I
has
really
the
like so
like
many
the
of Kogyoku's like faces and interactions. She's so
oh no, she's
adorable.
great.
She's
I love
so
her so
adorable.
much.
I love like when she's giving the big speech. You can see her legs trembling in the corner. It's like she's doing her best out
Yeah.
there.
No, I liked her fire though, because it's kind of like it's like her metal vessel and the way she fights shows she does have that fucking mean streak in her. It's just hard for her to bring it out.
Yeah.
She has to force it. One thing, and then no Puff, like it's like for better or for worse, she definitely did just like replace Morgiana as the main girl of the final arc.
I know, like, is more John
For better or for worse, she definitely did.
yeah. I mean, to be honest, I think I like Kogyoku more than
I
Morgiana.
do. Probably because Morgiana stopped doing things. Oh no, I really liked where like early like I'm glad Alibaba like validated me in this because then I was looking at it and I heard if you're rich you can take an airship and I thought oh Sinbad didn't make transportation controlled by the government. That's odd. Why would he do that? That's like a normal government controlled thing. And then you later learn that it's like the most competitive market and the one that Sinbad has the most control over. And it's like, oh,
Yeah.
that's why. And you literally have that where Alibaba just says, "You're cheating."
I remember the page where it says, "Isn't that unfair to do to monarchs younger than you?" It's like, yo, he's calling him out for being a pedo. He's calling him out for being a pedo.
No, it is funny how he's literally like, "You just," he says, like, "You base the world around the thing you're best at. How is that fair?" No, I did love that.
Yeah, I also love how like I think Kogiku's like a really like a very obvious Alibaba parallel where like what
Yeah,
happened with her in the 3 years is what would have happened to Alibaba had he become the king of Balbadd. Because then
yeah,
they're in huge debt to Kou. He can't say no to anything they say now. He's just gonna get strung along and absorbed by them the same way Kogoku would have.
yeah. And now he's using her experience to help her through it instead of having to fucking die like he did.
Yeah.
And what's fun, the other thing I brought about how the thing he chose to keep open was food and the transportation because like those feed into each other. By having food not be controlled by the government, it increases the power of the transportation of the food, increasing his power even more. But then what's funny is like something like medicine, from what we can tell, is just given to everyone, and that makes sense because if medicine was competitive, Magnostaht would be the one in charge.
No, wouldn't it be like Heliophat?
Oh yeah, Helioplasmus, right? Yeah, like they very clearly like took the ones that they would be the best at and like hyper focused
Yeah.
it. It's very funny.
Yeah.
Anyway, then Yunnan gets like this is such a like a stereotypical like oh you're gonna job fight.
Yeah.
Or it's like
Dude, they built up
it's like
Yunnan as
stars
the
and
most mysterious, cool fucking guy ever, and the first time he fights, he's going like, "Oh
no,
fuck, I
literally the
lost."
second no, literally the second it starts, it's like, oh, you're gonna lose. It's kind of the same vibe you get when you read like Stars and Stripes versus Shigaraki or JJK's Stars and Stripes versus Kenjaku. It's like, all right.
I don't think that's comparable because they built up Yunnan way earlier,
No, no,
like
I
way
just mean
way
like it's the
earlier.
same vibe of the second you see them standing off, it's like, oh, time to lose. It's like it's a very specific shonen trope you see a lot, where you just see these two hyped up high tiers face off, and you immediately know which one's going to job. Like immediately, you
Yeah.
lock it in.
I like how like I think like what they were doing is like they kind of pose like Yunnan's inaction as like his greatest like flaw because like we don't know like we know that like the one king vessel like we know he had others back in the day, but the only one he has in
Yeah,
the story is Sinbad, and he was completely hands off on that. Like he didn't guide him at all. He just like hey, there's the dungeon, go do it, and then he just like good luck,
yeah, and
kid.
that's why the best attack he can do is just mimic Sinbad. But as she points out, anyone can mimic Sinbad. That's not a unique skill.
Yeah. So even though she's this overbearing, over-controlling eldritch horror that's like like been here from all time, that is like she has more resolve than the guy who doesn't want to do anything.
Yeah. Oh, and then it's revealed that Morgiana's pretty strong, Hakuyu's pretty strong, and Aladdin is God.
Dude, when they said, "Hey, how many formulas did you use to recreate Hakuei's body?" Oh, 1,000,000 something.
Yeah, something
One
like that.
million. It's like fucking.
Oh
I
no.
see. He's the cross battle bully, man. He's the cross battle
Oh
bully.
no. Well, like they literally do the thing where it's like, hey, remember when they launched all those hyper magics to destroy the dark spot? We're gonna hit you with that. And he's like, oh, okay, I'll just like deflect it with one little swish of my wand. And it's like, oh. It's like, oh, okay. Aladdin is the strongest character in this dimension right now.
Oh yeah, no.
Okay.
Barring Sacred Palace shenanigans, no one can touch him.
No, it's actually not fair.
He's the cross battle bull. I remember back in the Amino days, you'd see him in like the like there'd be like three tiers, like one for like low tier, so you'd pick like Don Krieg, then like a mid tier you pick like Oven, and then top tier you'd pick like Big Mom Kite or whatever. And then it's for their cross pick, they would I know this one guy kept picking Aladdin, and in retro I'm like that's not fair. We should have pulled him. The judge should have pulled him from that fight. That's not fair. Do not send him to fight Whitebeard. Whitebeard will die.
That was just like innately funny. Anyway, then we go to the fucking palace. I have mixed thoughts on the palace.
I like like Sinbad's like raid on the palace. I think it's cool and good. I like how they kind of Ugo like kind of equates his attempt like a character trying to fight the author in a story or something because
Yeah, that was
Sinbad
cute.
really wants to be the author. If you couldn't tell, he loves being the
Yeah,
author.
he was being the author and the protagonist at the same time.
Yeah, he wants it all, baby.
Yeah. And then him and David fight for control. Whoop de doo. And then really we have the scene where it's like, oh no, all our friends are controlled by Sinbad. The only exceptions are oh, by the way, one minor thing. That fucking random fish island guy was like, all right, I guess you're our fucking ally now, sure.
Yeah, and then he didn't like do much, and it's like, well, okay,
No,
all right.
you could have done more, I guess. And then I only remember that because it reminds me of also fucking Nose McGee, who I like more because at least he's funny. Uh,
From
it's
the
like, all
Leave
right, we
Empire,
only
right?
we only have five exceptions. The main four, a point fiver who we're gonna keep hidden, a sleepy bitch, so we can't use her, and then Nose McGee. Well, here's Nose McGee, and like I understand why cutting Sinbad's trials early is good and makes sense, but also
Yeah,
it would have been nice to see all seven, and adding to that, it would have been nice if seven
Morgiana
or
had
eight
something to
characters
do.
came in. Morgiana could. There's like 800 ways to justify have her be in the rift, and that somehow protects her. Have any. I don't. There's so many fucking bullshit
Yeah,
ways
yeah.
to
Give
justify
like a
her.
give it like Aladdin can use Solomon's wisdom to free like two people, and then they get it that way. Like why
Oh,
not?
she's
Like
been training with the Faunalese forever, and that's made her like detached from the world. There's
have
so
have
many
it
stupid
be like
things.
because Alibaba's immune and she's the household of Amon, like maybe she can be immune too. Like why
Well,
not?
that wouldn't work because then all of Sinbad's. Actually, I guess it'd be cool if all of Sinbad's vessels were immune and they went along with it anyway. That'd be kind of fun.
Well,
And
no,
then
no, I was kind of just saying like because they said Alibaba's weird because he died, and like because he's
no,
immune.
I meant like yeah, I meant because like Sinbad would also be immune because he's half fallen, and thus it'd be funny if all of his
Well, he's the
retainers
god
are
though, so like
immune.
I think like it's
I
fair
know
if
that'd
he
be
can touch
funny.
his own followers,
No, it'd
right?
be funny. And then like like other people to bring. Obvious answer is the brother,
Yeah, so like obvious
Cohen.
answer is main four, Morgiana, Cohen, and then like maybe Yunnan because his character was a little thin by the end.
Like maybe Yunnan, maybe the Wind Sister, so she can do fucking anything.
I think I would prefer Yunnan because he has a relationship with Sinbad, so like seeing how they would
But I
talk would have
mean,
been neat.
I wouldn't mind Wind Sister either, because maybe she could fight like the fallen version of Sinbad, and that would be where she was like, Arba, you are such a fucking asshole. uh, because Arba honestly didn't do that much after Hakuryu killed her.
Oh, dude. For my second video, I have more written about Arba than I do about
I know
Aladdin.
she's interesting. I just don't
Well,
think she does
I
that
guess to be
much
fair, it's
that
because
I
I kind of
like.
intermingled her like section with Judar and Hakuryu, so that's why it ended up being
No,
so
that's
long.
fair. No, I think after her defeat though, she doesn't do that much that interesting to me.
I like how like she after she loses to like in the fight with Aladdin, right? Like she's just like talking down to him, not even like listening. Like like she doesn't
Mhm.
respond to his question. She's just talking at him because she's him as just like a stupid child and like Solomon's pawn. But like after
Yeah.
it's done and she's defeated, she's revealed to just like her real body's the body of a child because like she's the real child between two. Aladdin became independent. She never became independent because she needs
Mhm.
Ilah or David to guide her, and then she only gets an adult body back again when like after Sinbad does his thing, and then she starts listening to other people again. So it's like, oh, she's become an adult once more now that she's actually talking to people
Yeah.
at the end of the story here, and I like that. That's nice.
It just
Also,
felt kind of
also
minute for
her
how major she used to be.
also I love her hitting on her own kids because you can tell she's just doing it to piss them off.
Oh no, that's why I like it. She does because she's a freak. I
Yeah,
did like
she
that.
just wants to piss them off and sow the seeds of conflict so that she can make them fall and all that. It's
Yeah.
super cool, and she's super hot, and I love her.
Mhm. And then because like yeah, because it'd be fun if any because like it'd be nice to at least see what like each of Sinbad's actual decrees are before we say, yeah, fuck
Yeah,
your decrees.
yeah, because
Like
like the
it
thing is
would have
like
been nice.
I get that like the spinoff like was kind of over by the time we got the third one, but like you could have just like made something up for like the final arc. Be like,
Yeah,
okay,
you could have showed
take
decrees. It would
this
have been nice.
take like this character flaw of Sinbad's or like this character trait of his and turn
Have
it
the
into
wind
a
one be
trial.
tied to his fallen state. Have the sword one be tied to something. Be so easy. Be so easy.
I think they
Because yeah, I
were
think it'd
like
be
planning
nice.
something with like his fourth one, Furfur, because it had like the bat wings and looked kind of evil. So I thought like,
Yeah.
oh, this is like the mask off moment where you see how flawed he really is, and that's why Alibaba
Yeah.
fights that one.
So it would have been nice. Like it just has thing a lot of manga endings have. Where it's like this probably could have been longer.
Yeah, yeah, and with like the last like I like the I pretty much like everything that happens with the trials. Like like I like Judar's fight
No,
with
I like
Val.
all their conclusions. Like I
Yeah,
think it's all good.
yeah, and then like I
And
like how like literally like this whole thing ends with Alibaba turning the sacred palace into a republic and a room of people arguing about what to do.
that is very funny.
Like my
And
favorite
no, I
panel in the
literally
whole story is the one where like they're in the big bowl and Alibaba's this tiny little guy in the bowl and and Simba just staring down like fuck he got me.
literally I had this moment where they were doing their where they were arguing about if they were arguing about if things should be if they should approach interdimensional conflict horizontally or vertically, and I was like, this is very interesting and fits thematically, but my god, I preferred when it was about actual politics, not reality breaking.
I know, like that's what I'd say about the last like 2 or 3 volumes is like something really thematically cool will happen, but the plot's all over the place and it's kind of uninteresting. Like when all the fucking towers came back and all the dungeons came back and like I could barely keep like it's like the goalpost changes like every other chapter and you can't keep up. And
Where
this
it's like it where it's like I would have preferred if they just reached like a actual political compromise instead of just fighting fate with lasers.
yeah.
Like see, like I would have preferred if it was the same thematic compromise, and also they addressed fate without rewriting it with a fucking supercomputer. Like I get why, because it fits the actual like what we've been building towards. It's just less interesting to me.
Yeah, it's like, oh, Cohen was half fallen because of what he did to Kuryu. That's really cool for this moment. Or like, oh, David's final form is the form of a child. That's really cool. Oh, they gotta. Sinbad says, let's combine all the metal vessels to win the pie, and it's like, no, we're not gonna do that. We're gonna destroy them instead. That's super cool for the themes. However, comma, you keep changing the goalpost every 2 chapters, and I cannot keep up. And I wish this was in a different context.
Yeah, it's like I get it, but man, I feel
It
like we
gets
could have.
like Magi at its worst is like messy, but like
Yeah.
it's still super cool and never stops being super cool at any point. So like
Oh
I
no, like the best comparison I would make is Magi at its finale's worst kind of feels like God of High School.
yeah.
Where it's like, man, there's a fucking. I like the core ideas, but there's a lot fucking happening here, dog. Oh my god.
Yeah.
It's still good though.
I know it's really good. I still love it a lot. It's still one of my favorites like easily.
Yeah. Anyway, I guess. Oh,
Oh,
other
also I
potential
guess like
person.
one thing that like I like about Alibaba and Morgiana's romance is that like
Yeah.
like it does like a lot of cool like setup for conflicts like back
Hmm.
when in the Kou arc Alibaba's like, okay, Alibaba, you're gonna be a right hand man, you have to marry a co-princess now. It's like he almost repeats his father's mistake of like having to marry for status and political reasons when he just like proposed to Morgiana like the chapter before. So it's like, oh no, he almost repeated that character flaw that his father had. And then like also like again like obviously like the fact that Alibaba, his whole thing is that he's trying to he class makes no difference to him. So the fact that he ends up marrying a slave and Morgiana gets to like doesn't just go with him just cuz like she had options. She had a Kuryu. Her Kuryu she could have went there if she wanted, but she didn't. They gave her options and let her go independent before they got together, so I like it. Cool.
Yeah, I guess I will end on just one more like potential seventh person who could have gone in, or eight, because there's a 2v1. You could have brought eight. Is like the potential of like just one of Sinbad's generals to somehow be immune and then go in and be like, dude, what the fuck are you doing? As in, like, I'd want Dracon to do that. I would like Dracon to do
Yeah,
that.
he's probably the one that'd be best at because it'd be like even
Because
if this
they met by clashing with each other,
yeah.
and Sinbad chastising him for fighting for an oppressive regime, and now he can come in and be like, "Are you stupid?" Or else,
I'm
like the first
dude.
dungeon he ever captured was with Dracon, and now Dracon's here taking on his dungeons. I think that could have been fun.
Yeah. I'm just imagining this is something the spinoff does sometimes where they literally like draw like a scene like to be like a visual parallel to another part of the story. Like the most
Yeah,
obvious one is like Sinbad like bequeathing the dagger to Alibaba is drawn the exact same way as when Rashid gave it to him. But
yeah.
like I'm just imagining like him like punching out like Sinbad's like wind form or whatever in the same way that Sinbad punched him out in Ball's dungeon.
That'd be funny. All right, I think that's all we have for this one.
Yeah, all right. Oh
This
boy.
this one was
Oh,
mainly analysis-y yapping. Next time will be comments and a few bigger other ideas.
yeah, we'll probably talk about like the power system and stuff because there's really a lot of fun stuff to
I do
delve into
really like
that
the
one.
power. What's funny is I would literally apply like I think a lot of the ways people feel about Naruto, I feel about Magi, where it's like, oh, I wish they used the power system more in the final arc. I wish they did some of the earlier conflicts more in the final arc. It's like, I sound like a fucking Naruto head. Well,
Well,
that's
good.
all.
Yep.
Leave
See you.
comments.
Yeah. Leave comments. See you next week. And if my main channel video is up, which it may be in a few days
Go
from now,
watch it.
go watch it. Even though it'll be like a lot of the points I just said, you'll just listen to them again.
Yeah, it's fine. It's a Dragon Ball video.